Picture number 1 is the flag at the station where we're going to assemble the hinges for the moving parts of the rudder and the elevator. Picture number 2 is a visual copy of the instructions for the procedures at our station 1. You'll also note that station 1 flag is marked as a start location. So this is one of the locations where you can walk in and start your construction. There are 3 other locations that you'll be able to start, and the flags are all marked start as well as hinge location. Picture number 3 is a picture of the elevator and the stabilizer laying on a building board, and in the background you see the rudder and fin. We've laid our elevator and stabilizer down with the slot for the elevator horn on the left side, and we're going to mark the top of the elevator and stabilizer with a little dot of tape, and we're going to mark the right hand side of the rudder and fin with a little dot of tape. This helps us match those 2 parts together later on. Pictures 4 and 5 show a slotted plastic mask that can be laid on top of either the elevator and stabilizer or on top of the rudder, and it shows us where we're going to make our slots in both rudder and elevator to install our carbon spars that will make our structure much stiffer and harder to damage later. Picture 6 and 7 show those plastic masks being laid on top of the components, and then the sharp-edged knife being used to cut through that component. And we want to try to cut all the way through if we can. We want to cut smooth and not wad the foam up as we go, so that we've got a nice smooth cut. And if we have to, we can make that cut clear through from the back side after we finish it. In fact, we didn't get all the way through. Make sure that you have a cutting board between you and the tabletop as you make this cut. Pictures number 8 and 9 show us examining to see if we've got the slot cut all the way through, and if not, we use our sharp edge again to make sure that that slot is all the way through. It makes it much easier to install our carbon spars when we do that. Also in picture number 8, grabbing both sides of the foam board and then flexing it like you're opening a book is a good way to spread that slot and open it up and make insertion of the carbon spars much easier. Picture number 10 shows us inserting the carbon spars by just pressing them down into those slots once they've been opened up a little bit. Pictures 11, 12, and 13 show us continuing to install the carbon spars in the slots created in the vertical fin, and then using some foam safe CA glue. It's a real thin instant setting glue with just a little streak of it on each of the carbon spars. It will help make the foam solid again as if we'd never cut it, and also attaches and holds the spars. Picture number 14 shows us cutting the rudder loose from the vertical stabilizer right on the line where it's already indented and marked for you. Just use the knife and just the least bit of pressure to cut it free. And then pictures 15, 16, and 17 show us using the beveling fixture, which has a very sharp edge in it, and shows us beveling off the smallest little part of some foam, a little foam strip that we're going to remove. This will make the hinging movement a lot easier for the component parts. The size of the little strip we're actually cutting away is demonstrated in picture 18 and picture 19. So as you can see, it's a very small strip, but the fixture allows you to do that. If there's a sensation as you slide the component part through there that the foam is wadding up or not cutting smoothly, that's exactly what's happening, and you need to stop, clean the blade, and then begin to slice it on through again. Now, this can be done by hand without a device like this, but the device you see in the pictures makes it much easier. In pictures 15, 16, and 17, you'll also notice that the tape mark that you placed on the moving component, that's the elevator and the rudder, tape mark will be on your left or away from as you view this picture. The tape mark that helps you locate the 2 top sides again or the 2 right hand sides again of both pieces. That tape mark will be away from you. That's why you don't see the tape mark in the picture on the piece that's sliding through. In pictures 20, 21, 22, and 23, you see us placing the rudder on a jig that helps us align the components again. Now you see the tape marks are on the top side in picture 20 in the rudder, and 21, as well as 22. And we use some small magnets against the component to hold it down against some metallic strips on the back. That keeps everything lined up. Picture 21, you see us using a penny to space those 2 component parts so that it makes the hinge move easier, and that's just a spacing that we use that would be continuous all the way up and down that slot. In picture 22, you see us applying the thread impregnated tape. That's the part that creates all the strength for our hinge. And then in picture 23, you see us putting some colored red tape on top of that, because this particular airplane was red, but we also would have blue or yellow tape available for you to color coordinate it so that the tape covers up and the coloring all matches. You see the same type of application of tape being done in to the elevator and stabilizer in picture number 24 and again in 25. Thread impregnated tape and the colored covering tape, as you notice again, will be on the right hand side of the rudder or the top side of the elevator and stabilizer. To add additional strength to our rudder in this particular case, you'll notice that in picture 26 and 27 and 28, what we've done is we've bent the rudder completely back around. That shows in picture 26. And then with that bent back around, we'll apply some clear package tape with it bent smooth or flush against itself, and we'll rub that tape down, and even as far as down in the joint, we will place it, we'll flatten it back out again, and we'll run a blunt instrument of some kind or other, something rather narrow, down that joint to join the two pieces of tape together, the clear package tape that we just applied on this side, and the cloth reinforced hinging tape that we applied on the other side. When those two pieces bite against each other, have an extremely strong hinge at that point. We'll perform the same operation on the stabilizer and the elevator. That's demonstrated in picture 29 and 30 and 31. And those pictures, along with your pictures of how we did the rudder up above, will give you maybe a better idea of how that material, how that clear package tape is put on the opposite side from the cloth reinforced tape to add additional strength. Picture number 23 is what the finished products will look like when you're ready to move on to the tail assembly from the hinge assembly area.